Hey everyone, Two Angry Frogs here, and we have an old school MMORPG farm for the Azj-Kahet Mount Siesbarg. Now you could spend hours and hours and hours working to get this mount, but we're going to shorten that for you by showing you the most efficient ways to farm for this mount. With the most efficient, it still takes a good 6 to 8 hours to get this mount, but once completed, you will gain one of the most coveted mounts in the World Within to date. So, to get started on the journey of acquiring Siesbarg, you first need to defeat a level 80 rare elite mob in Azj-Kahet. Tka'ktath is who you are after, and it can be found on a platform southwest of the Weaver's Lair, coordinates shown here. To make this quick, you'll want to be ready to grab him right after the weekly server reset. With anywhere from a 6 to 10 hour respawn time, if you do not catch him after server reset, you may end up needing to shard hop with a lot of time waiting to get him otherwise. You can either form your own group or jump into one by using the pre-made group's custom tab. As Tka'ktath approaches, you should see an area-wide announcement in chat, and he then flies into the spawn location shortly after. He has nearly 100 million health, so he is intended to be defeated by a group. After defeating him, you will loot the vial of Tka'ktath blood. It's very important to note here that you need to be level 78 or higher to loot the blood. The item will not appear in your inventory, but rather a quest is added to your objectives. Accept the quest the beginning of something beautiful, and you'll head to the City of Threads. Head to the northern middle area of the City of Threads next to the City of Threads dungeon entrance to turn in the quest to Shalba. Another important note, Shalba will only talk to you once you have reached a certain point in the Azj-Kahet campaign storyline. So if you cannot interact with Shalba, wrap up the campaign and then return to turn in the quest. Shalba will tell you that the creature's creator made grave errors, but with the right materials, we can perfect the Ascension using Siesbarg as the test subject. Personally, I don't think Siesbarg was ever consulted about this. You'll grab the quest, those are Chitin words from Shalba, which requires you to collect 1500 Nerubian Chitin. And with that, you'll start the standard old school MMORPG farm. By far the best way to collect the Nerubian Chitin is in the City of Echoes dungeon. You can solo this by queuing up for follower dungeons to run the instance. You'll want to kill everything up until the second boss of the dungeon, Noob Sect. The second boss and all enemies afterward drop very little, if any, chitin, so it doesn't make sense to go beyond that. When you get to the second boss, right-click on the Dungeon Finder eye to leave Instance Group, then queue up again and rinse and repeat until you have collected the 1500 Nerubian Chitin. It took me about 11 to 12 minutes to clear each run of the follower dungeon using the route shown on the map. Each run nets approximately 90 to 100 Nerubian Chitin, so you're looking at about 15 to 17 runs at a total of 2.5 to 3 hours of farming. It's very important to note that the Nerubian Chitin that you see on the auction house is from Wrath of the Lich King and is not the same as required for Siesbarg. No way around this but to farm the Chitin. After collecting all of the Nerubian Chitin, return to Shalba to turn in the quest. Next, Shalba gives you the quest Venom, more like Get 'em, to collect 1000 Nerubian Venom. For this, you want to head to the southwest exit of Siegehold to defeat the rares Rakik and Kakik. Their specific spawn point is at coordinates 43.831, so if you stand on the small hill at the south of the Siegehold exit, you're right on their spawn point, making this even quicker. The respawn timer is roughly 1.5 to 2 minutes, and each is guaranteed to drop 10 to 12 Nerubian Venom. So given the respawn time and amount of Venom dropped by each rare, this is about a 2 to 3 hour farm. These do also drop from mobs in the City of Threads dungeon, but I found the Rakik and Kakik to be much faster and better since I could be doing other things while waiting for each respawn. If you do choose to farm these in the Arakara City of Threads follower dungeon, clear the entire area before the first boss, leave instance and requeue like you did for the Nerubian Chitin. After collecting the Nerubian Venom, you'll head back to Shalba to turn in the quest. When you head back to Shalba, you'll grab the final collection quest, a small ocean's worth of blood, which requires collecting 500 Nerubian blood. For the blood, you'll head back into the Arakara City of Echoes follower dungeon. However, this time you'll do a full clear of the dungeon, since quite a bit of the blood will drop all the way up until the final boss. You do not have to kill the final boss, as she will not drop any blood. You'll get roughly 80 to 100 Nerubian blood per full run, and each run takes about 13 to 15 minutes. So this is roughly an hour and 15 minutes to about an hour and a half for completion. You can also farm these from elite mobs in the Arathi's End area of Azj-Kahet. But for this, you'll most likely need a group, as there are a lot of mobs in the area, and the elites in this area are not trivial to kill solo. After collecting the required Nerubian blood, head back to turn in the quest to Shalba. Shalba will give you the quest Witnessing Brilliance to witness the Ascension of Siesbarg. But things do not go exactly as planned, so get the follow-up quest Consolation Flies, and you are rewarded with the Siesbarg mount. Acquiring the Siesbarg mount is a challenging journey that requires patience and persistence, but there is no RNG involved, so you have full control over it. But once you've collected everything and during the grind and overcoming the obstacles, you'll be rewarded with the highly sought after Siesbarg mount. So happy hunting, and may your journey be swift and successful. As always, let us know your thoughts and any questions you have down below in the comments. And make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you always know what's coming up next. And a special shout out to our members for your continued support. We thank you very, very much. And everyone, have a great day.